I'm sorry to be the one that pops your bubble, but you probably can't afford your car. According to the Swedish research, 52% of people underestimate their car cost. So let me show you a popular car buying rule which helps you determine how much you can spend on a car in Europe. The rule is based on your salary, so it's adjustable to your situation. Hello finance people, my name is Robert and I'm here to help you to take control of your personal finances in Europe. So a few months ago I started to look into getting a new car, and I quickly noticed that the more I looked at the cars, the higher my budget was getting. It was really hard to stick to any budget and my emotions kind of took over. You know, I was justifying to myself why I deserve better and how I have to have a good looking car, because you know, I can't be seen in a boring car. I mean, what would be total strangers think of me? What helped me to get back on track is a popular 24 and 10 rule. You might have heard about it in YouTube or somewhere else already, but I did need to modify it slightly so it works better in Europe. So let's take a closer look what it means. The 20 in the rule means that you should have at least 20% as a down payment if you're financing the car. Now, your old car counts as a down payment, so this sounds harder than it is. Unless you're buying your first car, then it's a bit trickier, but I'll get back to that in a bit. The number 4 in the rule means that there's a 4-year maximum term for the loan, so you don't stretch it out too long and pay too much in interest. And then the 10 in the rule means you can buy a car that costs 10% of your monthly income. But this is where I would deviate from the popular rule and adjust it to Europe. And let me show you the numbers in a spreadsheet and let's see if you can spot the issue. So this is the car buying rule spreadsheet. And if you want to download this and play around with it, then just head to the video description and click on the first link and there you can download it. I already placed all the rules here, and then here we just need to adjust a few things. So first of all, you need to adjust the interest rate. Right now in Netherlands it's around 7%, so just check what's in your area. Then you have monthly salary. Here you need to add whatever you get on your account, so after taxes. So let's say it's 2,500, and that means around 30,000. That's what you get after taxes a year. This means you can afford a 12,000 euro car, and the monthly payment is 250 euros, which sounds pretty doable and actually very low. Why would this rule tell you to spend so little on a car? Here's the thing, and I don't know if you can spot it. Let me unhide a few rows here. You can see here, so you have the 20% down payment, which would be 2,400. Then you have the car loan and the monthly car payment. And in this case, it's 230 because the maximum was 250. But what is this other car costs? 225. This estimates all the costs for a car, like taxes and insurance, and also the maintenance and things like that. So 455. And do you spot the problem here? If you earn 2,500 and you pay almost 500 in just the car costs, that means you're paying almost 20% of your income for the car. How can you afford anything else? I mean, you still need to pay and live somewhere. You need to pay food. You need to pay for clothing and things like that. It's just 18% is quite a big of chunk from your budget. That's why I like to use netto, because the popular rule actually use brutto. And in that case, the costs just get out of hand. If I show you here, you see brutto 624 euros. If you would use the popular rule, it would be just unmanageable. So that's why I adjusted to netto, and I think you should use that. Now, obviously, if you're a couple, you can add here more money. So let's say you both earn 2,500, then you could put 5,000 here, and then you could afford a better car, a nicer car, not necessarily better. But keep in mind, that means you would be paying 910 euros for car costs in total, because nicer cars also have more expensive maintenance. Maybe they don't need as much maintenance, but still, there are certain costs involved. The other costs are just an estimate. So in this case, we're paying 18%, and that's, I think, manageable, but it's gonna get tough. So most of you could say, oh, well, hey, actually, you know, this is not my first car. I'm paying, you know, I have already a car, and down payment actually will be 50% because the car is worth 12,000. Okay, you'll have much less to pay, and maybe the formula doesn't work perfectly in this situation, but still, you would have quite high costs just to have a car. And I understand this is quite strict rule, but still, there's a lot of people that pay probably closer to 30% of their income for a car. And I think long term, that's just not manageable. Yes, if you need a car, just get one, but you need to know what you're getting into. And if you're interested in calculating the true cost of owning a car, check this video right here. I'll go in depth into all the details. It's really shocking, and I believe most of you don't know all the costs that are involved. And look, I'm not here to tell you that cars are bad, not at all, but I do want you to realize that cars have gotten expensive. So what I would suggest, if you want to have a nice car, calculate the true cost of owning that car and then take the amount and save it for 4 to 6 months. So for example, let's say the costs are around 500 euros, just take that from your salary and put it aside. This will give you a sense of what you are getting into. If it works for you, well, then you have a nice down payment for the car. If not, then you just avoided 4 years of stress and you still have 3,000 of savings. So you can see a small delay in gratification will give you so much options and knowledge. And if you're wondering how are other people then affording nice cars, I think they have to sacrifice something else. I have people close to me who drive nice cars, but they basically work to pay for that car. They can't afford other nice things like going out, going on vacations, and so on. They are in constant stress over overdue bills. Now you know how much you can responsibly spend on a car, but without having an overall plan for how you spend that money, it will be really hard to get to financial freedom. That's why you should watch this video next if you want to learn how I use the simple rule to save 12,000 euros in just over a year.